What the hell are you doing? That's how this all started. You ever stand in your own driveway and watch someone laugh as they steal from you, right in broad daylight? That's a new level of disrespect. But the kicker? The thief was the HOA president's daughter, Kay. Blonde, cocky, standing there with her boyfriend, just hooking my ATV to their trailer like they were picking up a bag of groceries. Not even sneaky about it. The metallic clank of those chains, I still hear it some nights. If you think this is a story about a stolen four-wheeler, well, buckle up because things went sideways fast. You know, Sarah, my late wife, she surprised me with that ATV a few months before cancer took her. Last real present she ever gave me. So yeah, that machine was more than rubber and metal. That was my connection to her. And now, I'm standing there, watching it get dragged down the street by a couple of kids who think they're untouchable just because their mom rules the neighborhood. I mean, come on. Watch me, Kay says, snapping the chain shut like she's starring in a movie. I can't even get words out. Just rage. Hot, helpless rage. And she's smirking at me. What are you going to do? Call the cops. You know that feeling when you want to hit something, but all you can do is clench your fists? That's where I was right then, watching my last piece of Sarah disappear. So, what would you do if someone like that just stole from you, claimed you couldn't touch them? Would you back down? I sure as hell didn't. Now, 3 years ago, if you'd told me I'd be the guy blowing up a criminal empire, I would have laughed. I'm just a 52-year-old electrician, wanted a quiet life after Sarah died. That's all. We moved to Pinewood Estates because Sarah wanted big backyards, a little bit of that community spirit. Thought it'd help us both heal. She loved the place, the smell of cedar in the garage, the sound of birds on Saturday mornings. Now it's just me, building birdhouses, fixing appliances for neighbors. Keeps my hands busy, stops my mind from wandering into dark places. But that ATV, man, that was my treasure. Sarah pressed the keys in my hand, her grip shaky, her eyes still determined. Promise me you'll keep living, even after I'm gone. I promised. I did. And the thing sat in my driveway ever since. Not bothering anybody. Pinewood Estates started out great. 47 homes, reasonable HOA dues, at least that's how they pitch it, $180 a month. But, then there's Brenda, HOA president, queen bee, manicured nails, always toting that massive purse like it's got launch codes inside. Been president for 3 years. No one else wants the job, because if you try, Brenda tears you down. Not subtle about it, either. Her husband, Rick? Always out of town, pharmaceutical business. Heard that one before. Meanwhile, Brenda's brother-in-law's landscaping crews charge double what anybody else would, but nobody complains. I mean, you get fined for your mailbox being the wrong shade of green. No joke. She's got paint swatches at every meeting. Her daughter, Kay, 19, dropped out of community college, treats the neighborhood like it's her personal racetrack. Always got a new boyfriend, always trouble. My first taste of Brenda's rule came taped to my door, bright yellow violation, $200 fine for unauthorized recreational vehicle. That's my ATV, sitting exactly where it's been since we moved in. That night, I marched to the HOA meeting, ready to set things straight. The room felt like a funeral, neighbors with their heads down, afraid to look at Brenda. I hold up my paperwork, say, show me where it says no ATVs. Brenda just smiles cold, empty smile, and says, rules evolve, Mr. Webb. Adaptive governance. You ever have someone look through you, not at you? That was Brenda. Maybe this isn't the neighborhood for you, she says, like she's handing out eviction notices. That's when I clocked Harold, lives 2 streets over, always scribbling notes. Rita used to be treasurer, just shaking her head. Sitting in that stuffy room, I made a decision. This wasn't going to be another thing I let slide. I wasn't losing Sarah's last gift because some HOA queen decided she didn't like it. Fast forward. 2 weeks go by, nothing but glares from Brenda's house. I'm driving home from Home Depot, turn the corner, and there's Kay right in my driveway, latching my ATV to a trailer. I slam on the brakes so hard, the lumber in the bed nearly goes through the cab. Kay just grins at me. Just helping you comply, old man. The boyfriend barely glances up. I see a gun bulge under his jacket. This isn't some prank. You have 10 seconds to unhook that trailer, I tell her. She laughs, nails on a chalkboard. Go ahead, call the cops. Mom cleared this with Officer Davidson. Well, I call anyway. But you ever call 911 and wait, while you watch your property roll down the street? 45 minutes of reality TV for the neighbors. And then Officer Davidson finally shows. Young, fresh, like he's on his first real call. He shrugs through the whole thing. No witnesses, no proof. Kay says I let her borrow it. Brenda hands over a covenant amendment she claims went out last week. All residents were notified by email. I never got an email, but Davidson's already packing up to leave. Brenda's got this act, this fake concern. As soon as the cop's gone, she drops it. You've got 72 hours to get that thing off HOA property. Points at a crack in the sidewalk. Tells me everything past it isn't mine. That night, I drove to the county courthouse, pored over dusty files till my eyes burned. Found out Brenda's amendment wasn't even filed. Fake paperwork just for show. And Texas law requires 30 days notice and a vote. She skipped all that. But the real bombshell, Rick's landscaping company, wasn't his brother-in-law's. It was Rick, funneling HOA money into his own pocket through a shell company. I found invoices, black and white. So, next morning I drag my ATV back to my driveway, take a photo, post it in the neighborhood group. Simple caption, interesting how rules change overnight. 23 supportive comments. People started talking. Then, suddenly, I'm banned from the group. Guess Brenda didn't like the spotlight. Later, I find an anonymous note under my wiper. Drop this, or things get worse. The handwriting's a dead ringer for Brenda's meeting notes. And sure enough, like clockwork, the fines start rolling in. Grass too high, $1.50. I'd mowed 3 days earlier. Mailbox color again, $100. Table saw noise, $200. At 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. Unauthorized signage. House numbers, for God's sake. It's harassment, and it's signed in Brenda's fancy cursive, like she's autographing my bad day. But here's where things shift. Harold, the accountant, sidles over. Says those fines? They break city ordinances. Maximum $25 for grass. She's making this up. I dig into city codes. Harold's right. Brenda's rules aren't just unfair. They're illegal. I start documenting everything. Photos, timestamps. Harold helps. Rita, too, shows up one night with a stack of old financial records she saved before Brenda forced her out. Suddenly I'm seeing it all. $800 for pool maintenance. For $100 for a security patrol. That's just a guy napping in his car. Then Brenda escalates. Kay spray paint snitch across my garage door, all caught on my security cameras. Finally, Officer Davidson takes an interest, sees the video, admits it's vandalism. Brenda shows up with a lawyer, claims the footage could be digitally manipulated. Kay gets a warning and leaves smiling. I'm starting to think justice just doesn't visit this zip code. But then Rita brings me to Harold's place. He's got a spreadsheet that would give the IRS chills. He's been tracking every suspicious expense. Turns out, every time Rick travels to pharmaceutical conferences in Mexico, there's a huge spike in HOA spending. Harold thinks it's money laundering. I think he's right. Then Jake, Kay's boyfriend, gets pulled over. Cops find a pharmacy's worth of fentanyl and $14,000 cash. Suddenly, he's the world's most helpful witness, spills everything to save himself. Rick isn't just a sleazy contractor. He's running drugs through fake pain clinics, washing the profits through our HOA. Every inflated bill, every fake maintenance charge, it's dirty money getting laundered. I call the DEA tip line. Agent Rodriguez gets back to me in 2 hours, meets me at a coffee shop, reviews my evidence. You've just handed us what we needed to bring charges, she says. I'm told to keep my head down, but keep documenting. That's when things get truly nuts. Brenda's thugs park outside my house in fake security trucks. The intimidation is obvious. Engine idling, diesel fumes choking the street. Harold finds the company isn't even real. Just another way to bleed money from our dues. Meanwhile, Agent Rodriguez's team is building their case. Bank records, wire transfers, connections to cartel accounts in Mexico. We're talking millions, not thousands. And it's all going down through my sleepy, cedar-scented neighborhood. Then comes the raid. The annual barbecue. Perfect cover. News crews, neighbors, even the city council. Brenda shows up in her Sunday best, working the crowd like nothing's wrong. Kay, still pretending she's a reality TV star. And then, right in the middle of Harold's announcement about financial irregularities, Rodriguez and 36 federal agents step out, badges flashing, handcuffs ready. The look on Brenda's face, pure theater. Confusion, then rage, then denial. You can't arrest me. I have rights. Rodriguez is stone cold. Yes, ma'am, you do. And right now, you have the right to remain silent. She starts listing charges. Money laundering, racketeering, drug trafficking. Kay screaming. Neighbors are stunned. And just like that, years of terror end in handcuffs and news cameras. Brenda's perfect world crumbles. Rick's already in custody, caught at the airport, cash and fake passport in hand. Kay, she tries to run, gets tackled by 2 agents. Her days of being untouchable are over. I stand there, the crowd staring. Brenda tries to blame me. He's harassed us for months about an illegal vehicle. That's when Rodriguez nods at me, and I step up to the mic. Your daughter stole my ATV because you thought you were above the law. But that theft blew open a criminal operation that could have destroyed us all. Handcuffs click shut. That sound, man, that satisfaction. Brenda and Kay get read their rights while neighbors snap photos, relieved it's over. The barbecue turns into a victory party. Months later, the neighborhood feels different. The Hutchinson's old house is gone. Now it's a community garden named for Sarah. The lot where corruption festered grows tomatoes and laughter. Justice isn't perfect, but this time it landed square. Rick got 15 years. Brenda 8. Kay, well, 3, maybe less with good behavior. Every stolen dollar came back, dues dropped, and neighbors actually talk to each other now. Harold runs the budget. Rita's the new president. Honest, transparent, not afraid of bullies. My ATV sits in the driveway, just like always. Some Saturday mornings, I ride with a dozen neighbors, the sound of engines and laughter echoing across Pinewood Estates. The neighborhood that once hid secrets now sets an example for the whole state. You know what I learned? Sometimes, standing up to petty tyrants exposes what you never imagined. Sometimes, fighting for something small, a four-wheeler, a promise to your wife, can pull down an empire of crime. And sometimes, the loudest bully falls hardest when you shine a little light in the right place. So let me ask you, how far would you go to stand up for what's right, even if it's just for yourself? When do you draw the line and say, not today? Tell me what you'd have done in my shoes. Ever had to take on a bully with more power than you? Share your story, because trust me, you never know who else might be listening.